But now, we were both kicking it over the weekend, man. We had to touch bases because Chris Rock came out with his new Netflix special called Selective Outrage. Now, for me, I'm a big Chris Rock fan. Let me start off by saying, when he came to the Fox some years back, me and my wife went to go see Chris Rock, and I said, you know what, baby, the reason why I want to go see Chris Rock, because I want to see what greatness is. When I went in there to see him, when I tell you my face was wet the whole show from laughing and crying, I just couldn't take it, okay? It was just ridiculous. But Selective Outrage, I don't know if it gave me that same action-packed punch that I was looking for, man.
Well, you know why you feel that way?
Talk to me.
Because, one, he made you wait till the end before he started talking about Jada, which, by the way, I'm going to talk about that because, fuck around and we're going to slap him again. I'm done. You can't get slapped again now.
Oh, man.
They're calling the man, wife, a B and everything. Another slap I feel like coming. But
it's warranted.
The reason why you were probably disappointed is, another reason is that a lot of the jokes that he had already performed those same jokes before. Oh. So he added a little something to it, which was the Will Smith, at the end. Plus, most of us were waiting on when he came out, what is he going to say about Will? Is it going to be funny? Is it going to be serious? What he said about Will wasn't really funny. It was more, you could tell he was hurt. So therefore, when you go, it's the same with Cat Williams. Cat Williams did his last one. I forget what it was called. I don't know, World War III or something. Yeah. But he got very political on it. Yeah. So if you're used to the old, silly pimp Cat Williams, pimp down Cat Williams, then that last one that he did, it wasn't for you. Yeah. But me, when I go to comedy shows, I'm a big comedy fan because, like I said, I grew up with Dexter Tucker, Chris Tucker.
And you're a comedian too.
And I'm a comedian. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bona fide comedian. But shows like that, if you just going strictly just to, like you said, just to laugh, and you're not really going for that educational. Yeah. Or because some people go to comedy, they don't want to hear nothing educational. Yeah. They want, your job is, I don't pay goddamn $100 to get in here. Yeah. I want to laugh. I don't want to hear nothing about, how we can be better. I don't want to hear what Behind Wick talking about. You know what I'm saying? Don't get them to tell me how we can save the community. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what you go for. Now, me, I'm open-minded to that type of stuff. I think that, comedians now, I feel like sprinkle in a little education, a little community service into they show. It's all right. Yeah. But like I said, I can understand why you felt that way. But I'm gonna tell Chris, I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna tell Chris Rock this. Don't get your face slapped again now. You already said the man played Ali. The man 6'4", 225, chiseled. You know what I'm saying? Chris talking about, I'm a little bit of that nigga. Okay then, well, you're talking big guy stuff. You said you're a little guy, you're 5'2", but you're talking like you're 6'9". Yeah. So, I mean, but on the serious note.
No pun intended, too. 6'9", crazy rapper.
On the serious note, I feel you a little bit. I expected a little bit more. Yeah. But, I mean, what can you expect when a man has been, pimp slapped on national TV in front of everybody? You expect him to come out and just give you jokes, the whole time. I expected that there would be some vigor in his routine towards Will and Jada. And a lot of the stuff that he said was absolutely true. Behind, I mean, like you said, I'm not the one that had an entanglement. I'm not the one that set up on a television show, a national television show with your wife and discussed her busting another nigga that lived with him. So, yeah. I mean, I think he hurt him with just enough, vigor and just enough comedy. I think he gave a great balance. What's the show, the best Chris Rock? Have we seen better Chris Rock shows? I think we have. But under the circumstances, because Beehive, when I slapped you that time for tap dancing,
please.
I
don't tap dance for nobody, and I ain't been slapped before in my life.
See how your reaction is?
Yeah, exactly. It's just death. All I see is red.
So now, what I just said, now won't you tell a joke in the middle of it?
Nah.
That's what you was expecting from Chris Rock. You just made my point for it. That's what you were expecting from Chris Rock. How you just felt about that right there.
Exactly.
So I think he did under the circumstances, with the anticipation. I don't think he could have really, because had he been too funny and addressed it very, very funny, I think then a part of the population would have been like, man, he a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga would have, pimp slapped me in front of everybody. I would have checked him or something. So I feel like he had to check him in the way that he checked him.
Well, see, you know what hurt me was it was just from the flow of the show. I felt like Chris, I think his nerves might have got the best of him. I think this was like the Super Bowl, and he was like, I got to come in here and knock this thing out the park. And I think he hit that stage, and I think his mind was he was just like the audience. Couldn't wait to get to that couldn't wait to get to the Will Smith joke, so it kind of messed up a lot of his punchlines leading up to that joke.
You think he was rushing?
Well, his punchlines, it just seemed like he was probably thinking Will Smith the whole
he
show.
messed that joke up. You know that because
and that joke would have been funny as hell.
He said emancipation, but he meant concussion.
And then he said he gave him a concussion.
Right,
and that was a funny ass joke. And when he dropped the ball on it, I was like, damn, Chris. But it was still funny when he picked it back up.
Right.
But then also, answer me this though. Do you think he should have went live with the show? Do you think he should have pre-recorded that thing and dropped it?
Should he have? What's the Oscars pre-recorded?
No, that was live, man.
Okay, he got pimp slapped out on live television, and I think he fought back on live television, so I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Now, if had he pre-recorded it, yeah, you could have, like you said, that one joke that he messed up the concussion, you could have straightened that out. Nobody would have ever seen it. Yeah. But I think that he was just being open for the people, letting them see it. It's hard to go live. Me and you be going live, much cussing I be doing. If they knew half the stuff that you have to edit out from me.
Don't make the doggone show.
Absolutely. So I had no problem with that. Now, what I will say is this right here. Mm-hmm. I think that Jada, that what he said about Jada, this is I want to ask you first. This is the question I had seeing it. If you were Will Smith, and the same scenario happened with Chris Rock, you slapped him out, right? Then you're watching that last night, which Will Smith will never admitted he watched it. Yeah. But you are watching it. Or somebody called you and said, hey, Wick just called your old lady a bitch, the nigga that you slapped. Yeah. Now, where are you at with it? Are you calling it even? Are we even? Okay, I pimp slapped you out on national television. You called my wife a bitch on national television. In Beehive's mind, are we even? Or now is it back on? Is the game back on?
Okay, first of all, Wick, that was an excellent ass question. Second of all, it's the same thing that we dealing with these goddamn rappers. Nobody wants to take the L and say, you know what, I was out of line for what was going on. Let's move forward. So now, if I'm Will Smith watching this, right, it's time for round 2, Ali style. It's time for round 2.
You don't slap
my wife's name out your effing mouth.
But you don't slap this man out on national television now.
But you obviously it didn't work. It was a love tap.
So okay, see, this like back in the day, what that boys in the hood? Let me out the car. I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
I'm out this thing.
Let me out there. I was riding with you at first. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give you a little quick story. I was at camp. It was Camp Kiwanis. I may have been 14. Okay. And so at Camp Kiwanis, this was up in Georgia. Up at Camp Kiwanis, we all stayed in this. The guys, we stayed in these little cabins, and you might have 8 people to a cabin, top and bottom bunk. Yeah. So there was a white boy that was in the cabin with us. He was above me at that particular time. As we old, we fight over the bottom bunk.
That's right.
Because we got bad backs, back That's detail.
Right. Exactly.
But when you're kids,
you want the top bunk.
The top. You know what I'm saying? Because we coming off, with the dusty rolls down, boy, and everything off the top. So anyway, he got the top bunk, so I come in. You know what I'm saying? I seen number blacks on that one white boy, but he got the top bunk. So of course, I'm finna show out. Yeah. I said, white boy, you finna get down. This is your spot. Even though he don't have it first. This is a tough white boy too. But anyway, back to the story. So after me calling him, 10, 15 minutes of calling them bitches and hoes and, and telling them how bad black folks is. And I come from Cali Road. I'm from Cali Road. You don't know. I'm just trying to talk him out to getting on the bed.
Yeah.
He was a little bigger than me at the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, when he finally got down, I don't know, he mumbled something or something, and I just hauled off and just slapped it. Bah! Woo! You gonna take this bed right here.
Yeah.
So I was expecting all the brothers to jump in, you know what I'm saying? but we, at 13 and 14, we don't quite have the camaraderie.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that yet. It wasn't that yet.
Right, so the white boy jumped back off me with like a Bruce Lee stand. You know what I'm saying? So he jumped back, he was like, oh, hell, yeah. So I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting him to go down and bow down after that.
This month.
Bro, that white boy fought me for 5 hours in that motherfucker. So finally.
One of them old school long fights.
Bruh, I did a couple times, it got me, I tap out. A couple times I got him, he'll tap out. We just kept going. So the last, and it'll go back to this thing right here. So the last little minute, I know I'm dog tired, he hit me. Boom! And I'm talking about, it caught me like, he went for my chest, but a little piece of it hit my lip and went down. So at this particular point right here, I just said, you got it. I started to lick off.
Yeah.
I smacked you first.
Yeah.
You ended it.
Yeah.
We got there, called it a draw in the middle.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker knew, I think he went to like McKeachin or something. He knew wrestling moves. He probably wound up being a state champion.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, I said, you know what?
Somebody got to take the L.
I took the L on that last part of it. I gave him an L on the front part of it. I called it a draw in the middle. Yeah. We wound up being best friends. Wound up fishing, catching catfish together. Exactly. He's my best friend now.
Come on now.
Okay? But to go back to what you were just saying, I think at this point right here, if I was Will Smith and I saw that right there, and I know that you truly humble and you truly sorry for what you did. You and Chris were friends. You were out of control. That's what Will said. His behavior was unacceptable. He apologized. He apologized on social media. So I feel like right there, once Chris vented, if you really felt that way and you see your partner vent, and he did that, take the L. You gave him an L. He gave you an L. Y'all even. That's how it was when I got in the fight with Lil Billy.
Okay, so now what if you at home watching it with Jada and y'all watching it because y'all want to see what this Negro is going to say, and he says it again, and then Jada does this number? What happens then?
I would have been like, motherfucker, let me tell you something. You done already got me kicked out of 10 movies.
10 movies?
With that crazy look, and the Oscars. My career's messed up. Everybody don't turn against me. Don't look at like me. Go look at what the guy, little boy name was that was living there. Go look at him.
August
Alsina, whatever his name. Let's get Stone Cold August Alsina down here. Look at him that same way. Because sometimes now a woman, your pride, and old jits used to always tell me this all the time. Don't let a woman get you hurt out here now.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? You
got to know
Superman. Trying to be Superman. You got to know when to, when it's right to stand up, and sometimes when it's wrong. If I'm at a club with my old lady, right, and she jump her ass up from the table. We in the booth like some players, some wings.
Come on.
We kicking. Then our song come on and she run out there on the floor and start shaking her ass in the middle of niggas. Now a nigga jump behind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He don't know that she with me. He don't know that. He going off. Damn, look at that fine motherfucker jump out. As my woman, and I'm there. This ain't the time for that. You do that when you go out with your girlfriend.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and then you can handle your own business. I'm not finna, if you put yourself in that situation and put us in that situation, I'm not finna be fighting niggas because some shit that you don't want to fucking do.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? If you sitting there and I look from across you tell me you go to the bathroom, we in the club, and I look and see, a date that I got, and she thinks I don't see her. She up there putting that nigga number in her phone. I'm not running up over there. Give me that phone. I'm not cut like that. You got niggas that are cut like that. Yep. Everything is the guy fault.
Every night I gotta fight to prove my love.
Yeah, it ain't the woman fault.
Exactly.
It's the guy fault. So therefore, that's how. If I was Will, that's how I would take that right there, because Chris said something in that show that he straightened it up, that there was already words back and forth between him and Jada. He said Jada had no problem cutting jokes on him and saying stuff. Now, I don't quite remember what he said. I have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
But when he said something about her, that was the second punch thrown. Jada threw the first punch, according to Chris Rock, about something. The people out there tell you what she said. I can't quite remember. But he said that she said something, and that was the response to it that he said on the Oscars. Yeah. So now, like I said, I was just joking when I said he'll get his ass whooped again, which he could when you're dealing with a guy like Will Smith. Yeah. A guy I call those type of guys that they're not real manly men. They're not confident in their manliness.
No,
I don't think that Will.
Say that about Will.
I don't think Will is. I don't think Will is.
Will snapped.
He snapped on Chris. He didn't snap on Stina. He didn't snap on Tupac. He ain't snapped on nobody else.
Well, see,
he ain't snapped
so now
on.
This is the point.
So what he would have snapped on Tupac? If Tupac was up there doing that same thing that Chris Rock was doing, and Tupac the same size.
See,
Tupac is the same size as Chris Rock. Would Will Smith have walked up there and slapped out Death Row Tupac? The ones that I'm talking about that he got killed because they stumped the nigga out after a boxing match. Would Will Smith have went up there and smacked Tupac?
It depends on the state of mind.
It don't depend on nothing.
Because it's called kamikaze. Sometimes folks are ready to go. So it's like, you know what? He was here.
He was there because it was Chris Rock. That's why he was there. He wasn't there if it was Tupac.
Well, see, now I'm gonna say this though. This is my thought process on Will. We don't know what Will's doing behind closed doors. Okay, if you think Chris Rock is the only person getting slapped around here, if you a slapper, you a slapper. Okay, it ain't no selective slapping going on now. All the slapping that's going on ain't making the camera.
He might be slapping some little punks, that they taking care of.
I mean, and then on top of that, man, this man trained to be Ali, so he got some skills.
Right, I'm not saying that
running around here not being no man.
I'm not saying that he couldn't beat Tupac one-on-one on the fight if you put him in there for 9 rounds together. That ain't what I'm talking about. Did you think that Tupac? So you thought it was gonna be one-on-one? You think that he gonna be able to walk up to Tupac, smack him on national television, and there was going to be no repercussions? That's what he would have thought. So he wouldn't have slapped. He knew that there wasn't going to be no repercussion with Chris Rock.
We don't know that, though.
He was banking on that. He done dealt with him before. He knew that he had went up there and did anything. He wouldn't have got off the stage had he had slapped Tupac. But you remember, Chris had that trophy in his hand that he was about to present or something.
Yeah.
If Tupac had that trophy in his hand, time Will smacked him and turned around, he would have caught that trophy in the back of his head.
He would have caught
and everybody that Pac came with,
they would have rushed the stage.
Exactly.
But see, I'm gonna say this though. Obviously, Chris Rock has his team together for him to be still going off at the mouth like that. So that means he's prepared. See, he got caught off guard.
He's prepared now.
He got caught off guard.
Tupac wouldn't have got caught off guard.
But that's the whole point. Now, Chris Rock, he got caught off guard.
Right. But my point, what I'm asking you, and I want to ask the people out there, would Will Smith, under the same circumstance with 2 guys that are the same, 2 guys Pac has said, Pac won't say anything.
Yeah.
He don't talk about busting all they wives.
Well, then answer me this. I mean, do you think he got into it behind closed doors with old August?
I don't think so. I don't think, not the way August is talking and we all need to heal together.
But so that kind of goes through my mind too. It's like, did you slap August when you found out that your son's best friend was hitting your wife? That's too much going on.
No, he didn't.
What would you do, Wick, if you found out that your son's best friend was hitting your wife?
I mean, I wouldn't even, first of all, like I said, I wouldn't even be in that position. That's why I ain't even married, because I don't even trust women at all anyway, as far as I can tell them. My mama told me that. God. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
And I feel like under the right circumstances, any woman can be had. I think that all women have a price.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think under the right circumstances, even if it wasn't the price under the right circumstances.
But that's vice versa, though. Any man, too, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But women are more sneaky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just, getting back to what we were saying, I just think that's why he called it selective outrage. Listen to the title. You selected who you thought that you could beat, who there won't be no repercussions, and you acted. I think that it was well thought out by Will, and therefore, since he violated that man, then he should take that L, eat it like a champ, And if he really ready to move on and repair him and Chris's relationship, take the L, shut up, and move on.
I agree with you on that, Wick. Fam, y'all hit them comments. Let us know exactly how y'all feel about this situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith. Is the relationship irreparable? What you about to say?
Well, what I want in the comments to see is, would Will Smith had done the same thing had that been Tupac with the same joke up there the same way? Would he have smacked Tupac or or 50
or August?
Yeah, or August. Let's say August. So, would he have done the same thing, or was that premeditated because he knew there was no repercussion that would come behind Chris Rock?
Or do you think that Will Smith is whooping ass and taking names behind closed doors, and it just kind of spilt onto the stage with Chris Rock? That's kind of how I feel a little bit. Sometimes, I be thinking,
he would have
we
slapped
just
you.
so happy to see it. No,
he would have slapped
Will
you.
Smith would have been laying out on the goddamn ground fucking with me. It would have been the last time he would have did that slap. I would have said,
I would have gave you 5 minutes with him first before I came and got him off.
Well, exactly. By that time, they would be putting me in cuffs. By the time you got up there, you would be saying, "Bye, B. Who the hell I'm gonna do the show with? They done took this nigga to jail."
I probably would have been up there like, man, why you do be like that,
No, buddy. Y'all hit them comments,
I would have
man.
got him up in there.
See, now you just a hater. You the biggest hater that I know. He's what you call a frenemy.
That's right.
Hit them comment.
Yes, sir.